Yo, welcome back to the 10 Count Table Talk podcast, man. It's your boy CJ, aka Mr. Wills. I'm chilling with my co-host, the Son of Thanos.
What's Gucci?
You already know. And then I'm actually chilling with a guest, though. My brother Tay is joining us for the first time. Say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
Hell yeah. So you already know, man, like, I didn't know what to do with myself this past Monday because Loki had just ended. You saw everything, right? You watched the whole Loki?
Yeah, you know, we saw it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, so, pretty much, I talk with, you already know, me and the Son of Thanos show, we talk about all this shit heavily on the podcast every week. We've covered every show and pretty much talk every movie. Now we're going to link it all together. And there's hella theories and shit. So, first thing we got, man, that just happened, the end of Loki. Right? Changed pretty much everything. How many episodes? Like 6 episodes?
Yeah.
6 episodes, changed the whole game, dude. Pretty much, the entire MCU. So what does that mean for us going forward? Right? We got, at the end, we got introduced to Immortus. Right? Fucking He Who Remains and shit. We got introduced to the multiverse, that's happening. All that, the splits and the branches and all that shit. Right? Fucking, what else? What else happened, like, towards the end, man? Loki got sent off to probably an alternate TVA, I guess.
It's probably the current TVA.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? With fucking how she's left them. I mean, that's where the fuck we're at. Talking about all that shit.
Or
So
it could be a different timeline.
the theory that I'm bringing up with y'all, gentlemen, is this shit a time loop? Is all this happened already? All of this? You know what I'm saying? Or like a version of this? I assume like a version of this. Right? You know what I'm saying? Not like with the exact same people.
Well, yeah, up until the threshold.
Yeah,
it's all happened.
Like with the, you think with these same people?
Yeah, that's why he knew what they were gonna do when they were gonna do it.
Until
I
right.
think
that ending part, he was like, okay, so now I don't know what's gonna happen.
Now there was something I had seen online that was pretty well put together. It was like 3 different videos, man, that 3 different sources have done, talking about the endings of WandaVision and the end of Loki and how they link up. And we're talking about the moment when they passed the threshold was the same moment when Wanda became Scarlet Witch officially. I don't know if that's true or not, but the dude said it synced up timing and all that. Like they had this crazy little thing. So I'm telling you, there's a whole bunch of
It
theories
could be
out there.
because we don't know when Loki got taken out. The time we don't know when in time he got taken out.
Very true.
When he disappeared from Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know when, because that was 2012 Loki or whatever Endgame came out.
Yeah.
We don't know where in time they stopped him when he got transported in that space that with the space stone. He was the Tesseract. They probably just stopped him at some point in time, like in regular time, and then at that point, because that to help dude's theory, they could have stopped him, like brought him to a regular point in time wherever he was dropped. It could have been a normal 2021 time type thing, and then they picked him up, and then they started rolling with him. This is what happened with the rest of your life, by the way. You know what I'm saying? You died.
Man, he definitely witnessed that.
This always happens. This is how your life ends. This is always what happens. Yada yada yada. So, for him to say that could have happened the same time could make sense if they went that route.
Now, oh my bad, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, so anybody seen The Matrix? I was just texting to you earlier. Anybody that's seen that knows Loki is always, the show has always been about Loki, not Wanda, not nobody else, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what it is Loki, once he made the choice to believe he who remains, once he made that choice is when the threshold occurred. You know, he didn't know what was going to happen because he spent lifetimes looking for a successor. He said he didn't know because it was actually 2.
Well,
so
and everything to that point was already written down.
Exactly.
Like word for word.
That's only that
legit.
point.
He had the script. This is nuts. That shit was nuts. It's all a charade.
So once they decide to once he decides he's found the right successor, he chooses to either let him kill him or let them take over. Either way, he said it was going to happen.
I'll see you soon.
So yeah, it was always them 2. I think he had to live, was it 1,000 times, a million times?
Yeah, he said
to finding those two. So every time somebody's gotten there, he's like, nah, this ain't the one, that ain't the one, because it's the two. So once it got to them, it's always been a loop. I mean, we saw the time stream.
That's definitely one way to look at it.
It's an unbroken loop.
That is definitely one way. So like mine is this, man. My idea is I like obviously this has happened before. My dude was mentioning reincarnation. So like he dies, there's gonna be another version of him. You know what I'm saying? So like if there's infinite versions out there, which is what he was saying, there's a whole bunch of different crazy ones, man.
In all the multiverse.
Right. So all bunch of different ones. So there's definitely guaranteed to be another version of this type of him out there. So this whole thing is gonna. That's what he was saying. This whole thing's gonna happen again. I am gonna end up ending the war again to set peace in the timeline again. Monitor the sacred timeline again. Somebody's gonna get pissed about it. Come kill me. We're gonna do this whole thing again. Pretty much. So like it definitely sounds like this whole crazy ass thing is one big ass loop.
And it may take another million years before the new Immortus finds the next exact same variants of Loki. And yeah, exactly.
So let's dive into that, man, because that's what I told you. I found this website that lets you read comic books for free. I'll get the website for y'all talking about. But I was reading the Avengers. It's like number 8, came out like 1962 or something like that. KANG the Conqueror, like the original shit. Fantastic Four and them were dealing with this, man. So he got like ties into deep space and time that touch a whole lot of people, man, throughout history. But pretty much, so he's born Nathaniel Richards, right? In the comic books, he's in the 31st century, I think, born the descendant of Reed Richards, right? The Fantastic Four guy. Mr. Fantastic, man, stretch deep. I can't remember what the fuck his thing was. Oh yeah,
Reed Richards.
Yeah, Reed Richards. Fucking descendant of him, so super intelligent, right? There's hella technology in the future. This fool like uses a bunch of technology, finds a decommissioned time machine, and is smart enough to re-engineer that shit. Travels way back in time to like ancient Egypt, becomes like Ramatut and shit like that. Fucking ends up getting into it with the Fantastic Four, and then goes into the future, way the fuck into the future. Finds technology there, hooks up this crazy ass suit that's got like all this power, and like this shit's crazy. I was listening to this whole thing about his suit, like just his suit. Got fucking gadgets and like hover things on the bottom of his boots. Like the ability to make a force field. Fucking, it's like, it can, what's the word? It can deflect nuclear blasts, like up close, like point blank range, nuclear. That's fucking wild shit that I was hearing, bro. Just about this way. I mean, so the tin pad is in his suit. He's got the ability to just fucking, you know what I'm saying? Jump through time and space like it's nothing. Because it's in his suit and shit. This battle suit's like a main thing, I guess. So that's gonna be a huge thing that we'll see going forward for KANG the Conqueror and shit. Anyway, fuck yeah, going through time, he fucking ends up at the end of time, and then that's where he in the comic books he gets chosen by the timekeepers to be the guardian of the sacred timeline and shit. And that's when he finds all the different versions of himself, and that's when a war happens and all that. In the comic books, that's what the fuck happens. That's when the war happens. The shit gets fucking wild. You know what I'm saying? He like drops the moniker of Ramatut, drops the Conqueror moniker, becomes Immortus, and he who remains, and hangs out in limbo. That's what in the comic book they call it, limbo. It's like in the void or whatever, which is what they showed us on Loki. Tight as fuck, bro. I was like, oh, that shit goes way back. This motherfucker literally just sits out there now forever, trying not to have this crazy shit happen again. That's wild as fuck.
Now, what you were saying about the whole thing being a giant loop. So let's say this multiversal war is about to start. It's the same multiversal war that
happened.
Exactly.
That he was in.
So
yeah, exactly.
Essentially, the multiverse always cleans itself up.
Right.
Always turns back into the sacred timeline.
Because you remember what he said? He's from like
somewhere
in the future. He's like eons ago.
Yep, exactly.
And I was just referencing Tenet earlier, man.
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan.
This dude's future,
a genius.
It's really his past.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking wild to
so
think about, but that's
this
true.
Immortus can't see past his decision to die, right? But when that happens, it creates Kang, who then eventually creates Immortus, who cleans up the timeline that was created by his same death that he doesn't actually see
someone's gonna
because
kill
he's
him.
dead.
It's
You know?
crazy ass
You can't
cycle, bro.
see past the choices you don't understand.
Man.
Shout out Wachowski brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that's true though, and that's true. That's exactly what happened at this point. And they were like, "Why, man? Why you gonna let us? Huh? Oh, for sure. They were like, why you gonna let us fucking? You gonna let me just kill you, bro?" He was like, "To be honest, bro, I'm tired." And so that's what it was. That was the decision moment. To be honest, I'm tired. My dude took the fucking thing off, slid it across the desk, and then shit changed, bro. Right then, right? Shit started changing. And so I mentioned Wanda because in the comic books, she and then obviously we know WandaVision. You watched all that, right? We know how deep that shit was, man. It started off weird as shit. Ended up being one of the craziest shows I'd ever seen in like 10 episodes, right? Fucking hooked it up to where now Wanda has been grieving. In the comic books, I remember I told you early on, she had some shit against the Avengers, yo. She was a bad guy, what I remember anyway as a kid. So they showed us a little bit of that. She's definitely capable of being bad. You know what I'm saying? And then so towards the end of WandaVision, we got the chaos magic. She's a Nexus being, pretty much. She has the ability to see through different dimensions and travel through them shits like it's nothing. That's what I was reading in the comics and then fucking on the website. That's like an ability that the Scarlet Witch has in her prominence, right? As she fucking figures it out. You know, at the end of WandaVision, that post scene, she was in astral form studying like a motherfucker, man. And then towards some craziness happening, she heard her children, right? Fucking. So the theory that I saw online was saying that when the timeline started branching and shit, that allowed her, you know, to start seeing through dimensions and hearing through dimensions, which is how she heard her children. But somewhere in another dimension, her children are actually alive.
Yeah, because at the end of the show, they were screaming, you know. You heard their voices, so.
And that's exactly what we got. And before it ended, we saw her close that motherfucking book. She's about to go find her kids. So shit's about to get wild. Because you already know that's not the natural order of shit, and that's what Doctor Strange is supposed to be fucking protecting.
She is Michael Fassbender's daughter, right?
Yeah, she's Magneto's daughter, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for them to bring that in. I can't wait, because that's
kind of important.
Oh
boy. So.
Man, look, and let's talk about that real quick.
They don't need to, like, put everything out there, but they put him in there for a reason.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm hip to the game. We know in 2018 they bought Fox, right? Fox, they acquired all the shit from Fox and shit. So now Disney can do whatever the fuck they want. But Disney's smart enough not to just jumble these motherfuckers and throw them out there, right? There's a way to do it. We gotta make the shit process. You know what I mean? Like I was watching this other video about the Phase 5 projects that they're talking about doing. Shit about like Nova. Shit about like Wolverine and the mutants. They're doing like all of this shit happening later.
That movie, The New Mutants, is really tough.
Man, I started watching it and I fell asleep because I put that shit on hella late. So at some point I will have to.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? At some point I will finish it. But fuck yeah. So with fucking with Kang the Conqueror now, that's gonna be set up as the new big bad. His whole thing makes Thanos and it makes it look small almost. You know what I'm saying? Like the skin and
small picture.
You know what I'm saying? And Thanos' shit was huge, bro. For you know what I'm saying?
One universe.
Bro, what?
Thanos put
Crazy.
Put hope on his ass.
Bruh.
And he only had one stone. Never used it.
One fucking stone.
Never used it.
Mm-mm. He just chopped him up because he's strong as fuck.
That nigga ate
He know how to
everything
fight.
Hope gave him, and then gave it to more.
Let him
And
have
then
his
when
fun.
Tony gave him everything he had and then some, that nigga said, and I quote, "All that for a drop of blood."
I think he threw a
Yeah,
little-
but
he
the
threw a
guy's got
moonlight.
like celestial blood or some, you know.
Oh, for
He's a
sure,
Titan.
for sure. There's Titan
That's-
blood in
that's
him,
different.
so it's different.
It's different
right?
than gamma
He's
blood.
right, so he's not. Yeah, he's not. He's an alien. He's
Yeah.
a strong,
He's like
intelligent
he's an
fucking
angel.
alien.
An
right?
angel alien.
Basically, right? And so, got
with bad skin.
when you look, man, when you look up what he's got, their race have extended lives. They live a long fucking time. Naturally, they're strong and they're smart. That's what they do. He just lifted weights like a motherfucker, man. Not all the Titans are buff like
and
Thanos.
the Hulk fights butt naked, and Thor had what was Thanos had a whole suit on. You know, I'm just saying.
But Hope, in Hulk's defense, he was champion for God knows how long.
Over who
Beating
though?
up a lot.
Hey,
He's
he
been killing people
You know
though.
what I'm saying,
He
man?
been killing them though.
But how many
because-
people were
had-
cheating like Thor?
You sound like Doug.
Come on, man.
Doug,
Yeah,
Doug used to say that.
because Thor had him too. You
Hey,
know, with
see you later,
sparkles.
That's real shit. I love Korg. Well, I wanted to start a revolution,
true.
but I didn't.
Think about it.
I didn't print enough pamphlets. I love Korg. That's my guy. All right, so we get at the also Ravonna Renslayer. She leaves in search of free will. Mrs. Menace, she got confirmed to be working for He Who